Have you ever sat sipping your morning chai, eyes drifting to the tulsi plant on your veranda or catching the gentle hum of temple chants from down the street, when suddenly a thought hits you? Where did Kamala G go? Just a few years ago she was full of life, and now she's gone quietly without warning. In towns like Gurugram, Pune, or Kochi, many elders pass on not because of heart attacks or cancer, not even accidents, but due to something far more silent, often missed by both their families and themselves. My name is Dr. Desai, born and raised in Delhi, and a men's health specialist for over 30 years. I've had the privilege of walking beside thousands of uncles and aunties across India, from retired professors in Chennai to senior advocates in Mumbai, and after decades of conversations and research, I've found one truth. Good health after 60 isn't just about stable BP, a strong heartbeat, or your morning walks in Lothian Garden. The real secret lies in an area many avoid, out of fear, awkwardness, or the belief that, at this age, does it even matter anymore? But today, I want to gently open that door for you, because this quiet key can keep your joints fluid, your thoughts crisp, and your body buzzing with the soft, steady energy of a well-lived life, even into your 80s and 90s. And no, it doesn't require costly pills, aggressive workouts, or foreign diets. This secret has always lived inside you. It's just waiting for a nudge to come alive. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to guide you through a few gentle steps, just as easy as making your morning cup of chai, that can help bring back that quiet spark within you. It's not complicated, no fancy tools, no outside help, just you, your breath, and a small willingness to begin. And I truly believe that by the end of this short journey, you'll start to view your later years not as a slow fade, but as a time of richness, a season where life becomes softer, wiser, and surprisingly rewarding. If something in this message feels like it speaks to you, go ahead and click the like button and type 1 in the comments so I know you're here. And if you feel this channel is adding real value to your journey through aging, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon. You may not need this today, but trust me, one day, someone close to you might feel truly grateful that you chose to listen. The silent condition that is draining the vitality of old age. Disconnection from physical sensation. Each time I sit with elderly men and women in their 70s or 80s, whether it's Uncle Ramesh from Allahabad or Auntie Leela from a small town near Madurai, I often notice something in their eyes, a quiet kind of sorrow. It's not illness, and it's not exactly loneliness. It's as though something within has gradually dimmed, like life itself has retreated into a smaller, colder corner. After years of working with seniors across India, from retired postmasters and teachers to once busy homemakers, I've begun to see a familiar pattern. Many are slowly, almost unknowingly, disconnecting from their own bodies, especially from that part that once gave them a sense of deep aliveness. The sensation of touch, closeness, pleasure, or even just comfort within their own skin. At some point, a message was quietly planted in our minds, that intimacy, warmth, and desire are for the young, and once the hair turns gray and the hands wrinkle, that chapter should be closed. Sadly, many begin to believe this. They feel shame around longing, or see their aging body as no longer deserving of sensation. Some give up because the body feels different, some withdraw after losing a partner or being hurt emotionally, and many simply don't know that reconnecting with physical sensation is not just possible. It's essential for aging well and living fully. What most people don't realize is that this quiet disconnection sets off a hidden chain reaction. Blood circulation slows, sensory nerves begin to fall asleep, hormone levels shift, and gradually the body's natural strength starts to slip, not just in matters of intimacy, but also in memory, emotional stability, and the ability to feel joy. Sleep becomes light or broken, moods swing without clear cause, energy starts to dip, and over time, the immune system grows fragile, raising the risk of heart issues, forgetfulness, and low-grade depression. I've seen it firsthand. Elderly men who once laughed heartily during morning prayers at the Shiva Mandir in Ujjain now sit quietly staring out the window. Elderly women who once sang while stringing marigolds for the household altar in a small town near Bhubaneswar now let the flowers fall untouched, not because they're seriously ill, but because they've lost their connection to the very body that once made them feel real and rooted in life. Intimacy, whether shared with another or held gently within oneself, is not an indulgence. It is part of the human rhythm. It anchors well-being, fosters peace of mind, and yes, even extends life. And let me say this clearly, it is never too late to rekindle that connection. Sensations you thought had left you can come back. You don't need anyone else, only the courage to listen to your body, just as you'd listen to the soft rustle of peepal leaves or the temple bells ringing in the blue morning haze. Reach for life again, not just to stretch your years, but to deepen them. Your body is still here, still whispering, I haven't left you. I can still carry you home to your joy. And perhaps that's the very beginning of better sleep. A steadier heart, sharper memory, and that long-lost spark that makes every day feel full again, even as the world outside slowly grows silver. Why reconnecting with your body, even on your own, after 60 can help you live longer, live better. My name is Dr. Ravi Menon, born into a traditional family from Kerala. For over 30 years, I have worked with elderly patients from across India, from retirement communities in Hyderabad to quiet villages in Punjab, and there's one truth I have seen clearly over the years. Those who maintain a connection with their bodies, even after 60, don't just live longer. They live with a kind of vitality that feels different, deeper. Many people are surprised when I say this, especially in a country like India, where even mentioning physical intimacy, especially at an older age, is still treated as taboo. Many uncles and aunties grew up during times when anything to do with the body's private sensations was spoken of only in whispers, if at all. But science does not shy away from this topic, and the human body, it never lies. After 60, the body naturally slows down. Blood circulation decreases, hormones drop, muscles weaken, and the nerves become less responsive. But studies, both Indian and international, have shown that maintaining physical pleasure, even through safe and regular self-touch, can actually reverse many of these declines. You may find it hard to believe, but when the body is gently awakened, blood flow improves not just to the brain and heart, but even to the hands and feet. This reduces the risk of stroke and dementia. The body also releases endorphins, the feel-good hormones, which help you sleep better, reduce stress, and bring peace to the mind. Even testosterone, often thought to fade completely with age, rises slightly, helping preserve muscle, bone, and emotional balance. But the most powerful changes I witnessed don't show up in medical charts. It appears in the eyes. When an elderly gentleman from Lucknow quietly says, I finally feel like myself again, or when an auntie in Kozhikode smiles and says, I can still feel, and it feels beautiful, I know they've moved beyond just existing. They've stepped back into truly living. Physical sensation, whether shared with a loved one or felt alone, is not something to be ashamed of. It's a quiet declaration. I'm still here. My body is still deserving of care, tenderness, and love. And the most remarkable thing? Once people begin to reconnect with their bodies, they often find themselves reconnecting with life itself. Their appetite returns. They spend more time in the sun. They stroll slowly through their neighborhood or temple path. They tend lovingly to the jasmine bush outside their front door, or laugh more openly with their grandchildren. Many have asked me, with a mix of hope and doubt, Dr. Saab, is it not too late for someone my age? And my reply is always the same. Offered with a warm smile. It is never too late to come home to yourself. The quiet misconceptions, silently draining our elders' strength. I've met many older people who were once full of life, taking morning walks at narrow park, eating on time, keeping a steady routine, keeping a steady routine. Somewhere along the way, they start to feel tired. They start to feel tired. Sleep becomes difficult. Sleep becomes difficult. And their moods shift for no clear reason. Even their families don't notice what's truly happening. And neither do they. And neither usually begins with one quiet something thought. That seems harmless, something that slowly drains their inner strength. At this age, what's the need for all that? What's the need for all that? I've heard it too many times. But let me ask. If a lamp still holds a flame, should we leave it unlit? Should we leave it unlit? Is that lamp. The body is that lamp. Old age doesn't take away a feeling. It only changes how that feeling appears. Then there's the belief that doing certain things alone is shameful. I understand. Many grew up in homes where this was seen as wrong, but taking care of your body, bathing properly, eating well, and staying connected to your senses isn't shameful. Isn't self-respect. It's self-respect. Some people still believe that holding back sexual energy makes them healthier. Science says otherwise. Like a plant that withers when ignored, the body begins to fade when left unstimulated. Healing slows down, even the brain and immune system begin to dull. And maybe the most harmful belief of all is that sexual well-being is separate from overall health. They're deeply connected. Like roots and branches. When one dries up, the other cannot thrive. Understanding these myths isn't about doing something inappropriate. It's about easing the silent weight many carry, and opening a door to a more connected version of themselves. When I first started working with older adults who lives with his extended family in a quiet corner of Madurai, who takes care of her late brother's home, I came to a meaningful realization. Most elders aren't looking for more advice. They're searching for something they can actually follow. A way that feels gentle, natural, and suited to their pace of life. Not loud motivation, not strict routines that demand an hour of yoga each morning. What they need is something they can feel in their bones. Something that makes sense. Something that makes sense. Like how a grandmother prepares her evening raisin with steady hands and full attention. That's exactly how the vitality restoration method not as a way to fight time, but to softly stir that quiet sense of energy still present. The same body that has held joy, laughter, and work across so many years still has life within it. This method is not about reversing age. It's about showing the body it still matters, reminding the person within that they are still very much here. This journey begins with something simple. Creating a space of your own. Maybe it's the room where you sit each morning for a quiet prayer, or a familiar corner of your bed where the morning light comes in through the curtains. Let the space be warm. Let the space be warm and undisturbed. You might light a bit of sandalwood or dab a touch of rosewater. Spread a clean cotton cloth and keep a bottle of soft and nourishing oil nearby. Not for indulgence, but as a quiet reminder to yourself. I am still worthy of care. Allow yourself to soften. Breathe deeply the way you do at the start of your morning pause. Feel the breath move through your chest. Drop your shoulders. Release each muscle holding tension. And when you begin to feel a gentle calmness settling in, trust that your body is beginning to say, next comes something many haven't felt in years. A reconnection with your own touch. Explore gently your lower abdomen, the curve of your chest, the softness of your thighs, the softness of your thighs. Don't analyze. You're simply asking your body, are you still there? Are you still there? Often than not, your body will answer with warmth, with quiet reminders that it's been waiting for you. Let this experience arrive naturally, like a slow, early morning tune, rich and unhurried. Feel each moment for what it is, without chasing the next. In that slowness, life begins to return. Not in a rush, not in a rush,
the unfolding of
but
a
like
flower
the unfolding
at dawn.
of a flower
And when
at
you
dawn.
finish, stay
And
for
when
a
you
moment.
finish, stay for a
Place your
moment.
hand over your
Place
heart.
your hand over
Thank
your heart.
yourself, not for
Thank
achieving
yourself,
a goal,
not for
but
achieving
for
a
choosing
goal,
to show
but
yourself
for choosing to
love.
show yourself
in
a
that
little
moment
love.
of gratitude.
In that moment of
true
gratitude,
healing begins to
true
take
healing
root.
begins to take root.
Now, what might try to hold you back?
What might try
and how
to
do you
hold
meet
you
it
back?
with the
And how
quiet
do you
strength
meet it
of
with
a
the
steady
quiet
soul?
strength of a
Every
steady
time
soul?
I guide an elder,
Every time I guide
whether
an
it's
elder,
a thoughtful uncle
whether
in
it's a
Coimbatore
thoughtful
or a
uncle
gentle
in
auntie
Coimbatore
in
or a
Vadodara,
gentle auntie in
I
Vadodara,
remind them that this journey is never a straight road.
is never
It's
a straight
more like
road.
a path through
It's
a
more
hilly
like a
village
path
after
through
the
a hilly
rains.
village after the
Muddy in
rains.
parts,
Muddy
bright
in
in
parts,
others.
bright
But
in
when
others.
you know the turns, the
path
turns,
stops feeling
the path
intimidating.
stops feeling
One
intimidating.
of the earliest challenges
One of the earliest
often lies
challenges
in our own
often lies
expectations.
in our own expectations.
Many say to me,
if I follow every step,
if I follow
maybe
every
I'll feel
step,
25
maybe
again.
I'll feel 25
But this body
again.
you live in
But this
today
body
is
you
not
live
your
in today is
25-year-old
not your
self.
25-year-old
And that's not a
self.
failure.
And that's not
At this
a failure.
stage of life,
Success doesn't mean intensity.
Success doesn't mean
It means
intensity.
presence.
It means
Can you
presence.
feel warmth?
Can you feel
Can you
warmth?
notice the breath?
Can you notice
Can you
the
stay
breath?
present for
Can you
1
stay
minute
present
longer
for
than
1
yesterday?
minute longer than
That
yesterday?
alone is progress.
That alone is
then
progress.
comes the difficulty
Then comes
of staying
the difficulty
consistent.
of staying consistent.
Some do this once.
Some do this
Then
once.
wait until the memory
then
fades
wait
before
until the
trying
memory
again.
fades before
But
trying
just like
again.
your Tulsi plant
just
on
like
the
your
windowsill,
Tulsi plant on the
a
windowsill,
little attention at
a
regular
little
intervals
attention at
keeps it
regular
thriving.
intervals keeps
Choose
it
a
thriving.
moment in your week.
Choose a moment in your
Perhaps
week.
Saturday morning
Perhaps
after your
Saturday
tea,
morning after
or
your
Thursday
tea,
evening before
or
your
Thursday
prayers.
evening before
Let
your
that
prayers.
be your moment.
Let that
Not
be your
a
moment,
task, but
not
a ritual.
a task, an
but a
offering
ritual.
to the body
An
that has
offering
carried
to
you
the
this
body
far.
that has carried you
Others
this far.
become burdened by
Others
a need
become
to
burdened
feel
by a
something
need
big
to
every
feel
time.
something big every time.
But pressure makes the body
But pressure
tense.
makes the body
Sensation
tense.
needs space
Sensation
to flow.
needs space
Even a
to
calm,
flow.
even
Steady
a calm
breath is a gift.
Steady breath
Even
is
a
a gift.
single sigh of
Even
peace
a single
is a
sigh of
celebration.
peace is a
And yes,
celebration.
for many,
And yes, the
for
biggest
many,
hurdle is that
the biggest
whispering
hurdle
doubt.
is that whispering
At this
doubt.
age, what's the
At
point?
this age, what's
to that
the point?
voice, I say.
To that voice,
the point
I say,
is that you are
the
still
point
here.
is that you are
Your
still
body,
here.
even
Your
with
body,
its lines and
even
aches,
with its lines
still
and aches,
longs to be felt.
still longs
to be
felt,
honored, to be
to
gently
be
known,
honored, to be
and
gently
each time
known.
you say yes
And
to
each
that
time you
voice
say
of
yes
care,
to that voice
you are
of
not
care,
just reawakening
you are not
sensation.
just reawakening sensation.
You are reclaiming your
You
sense
are
of
reclaiming your
self. The
sense of
strength
self.
that grows
The
from
strength
this is
that
quiet,
grows from this is
but
quiet.
it is real.
But
It is
the
real.
kind of strength
It is
that
the kind of
heals from the
strength
inside
that
out.
heals from the
A
inside
life
out.
that feels whole,
A life
not
that
because
feels
it is
whole,
perfect,
not because it
but
is
because it
perfect,
is deeply,
but
tenderly
because it is
yours.
deeply, tenderly
Claiming
yours.
back the right to
Claiming
live
back
fully,
the right
no matter
to
your
live
age.
fully, no matter
As we
your
near
age.
the close of this
As we
journey,
near the close of this
I
journey,
want to leave you with a quiet,
I want to
but
leave you with
powerful
a
truth.
quiet but powerful
Something
truth.
as subtle and stirring
Something as
as a
subtle
conch
and
shell
stirring
sounded
as a
before
conch shell
sunrise.
sounded before sunrise.
Your body, your
Your
well-being,
body, your
and
well-being,
your right to experience
and your
joy
right
have
to
not
experience
vanished
joy
with the
have not
passing years.
vanished with the
They
passing
may have
years.
softened,
They may have
shifted,
softened or slowed
shifted,
down
or
but
slowed
they've
down.
never left you.
But they've
Deep
never
within,
left you.
the spark
Deep
remains.
within, the spark
Reconnecting
remains.
with this inner space
Reconnecting
isn't
with this
about
inner
chasing
space
after
isn't
lost
about
youth.
chasing after lost
It's about
youth.
respecting the quiet
It's about
rhythm that
respecting
still
the quiet
pulses
rhythm
through your
that
being.
still pulses through
The
your
same
being.
rhythm that carried
The
you
same
through
rhythm that
sleepless
carried
nights,
you through sleepless
long
nights,
roads,
and
long
whispered
roads,
prayers,
and whispered
and yet
prayers.
here you are.
And yet here you
Still
are,
breathing, still whole.
still breathing.
I
still
think of
whole.
Mr. Hari.
I think of Mr.
70,
Hari, a retired
70,
postmaster
a
from
retired
Madurai,
postmaster from
who once
Madurai,
sat beneath his
who
neem
once
tree
sat
and
beneath
said
his
with
neem
wonder,
tree and said with wonder,
I didn't know my body still had
I didn't
so
know my
much
body
to say.
still had so
Or
much
Mrs.
to say.
Kavita, or Mrs.
65,
Kavita, who
65,
spent most of her life
who
as a
spent
school
most of
teacher
her
in
life as a
Udaipur,
school teacher in
and
Udaipur,
smiled one afternoon
and
saying,
smiled one afternoon
"It
saying,
feels like a light has
it
returned.
feels like a light has
and
returned.
I didn't even know it had gone.
And I didn't even know
These
it had
weren't
gone.
transformations.
These weren't
into
transformations
someone else.
into someone else.
They were simply quiet
They were
homecomings
simply
to
quiet
themselves.
homecomings to themselves.
Gentle acknowledgments of
Gentle
the beauty still
acknowledgments
alive
of the beauty
within.
still alive
And you
within.
too are worthy
And you
of that
too
return.
are worthy of
It
that
begins
return.
with something
It
small.
begins with something
Like lighting
small.
a dia every
Like lighting
evening.
a dia every
It starts
evening.
with intention.
It starts with intention.
A decision to believe you
A
are still
decision to
capable.
believe you are still
needed.
still deeply woven into the fabric of life. One moment of stillness, one breath that feels like your own, one long look in the mirror, not to judge, not to greet yourself kindly, but to greet yourself kindly. From there, the steps little by little, those moments become a rhythm, a quiet celebration of being alive. Not in spite of age, because your story isn't over. You're still writing it. You're still writing at a time, one moment at a time, and your hands are steady on the pen. So write with pride, so write with tenderness, and with the quiet strength that's always been yours. If this video stirred something in you, made you pause, breathe deeper, or simply feel seen, let me know. Click the like button. Share it with someone who might need this gentle reminder. Or just type 1 in the comments to say I'm here. I'm still feeling. And if you'd like to keep walking this path toward healing, and a life that still holds beauty in every breath, and tap the bell icon. I'll be here each week. Holding space for us to remember. We're not done yet. There's still life in these bones. There's still life in these bones. Still light in this heart. Still light in this heart. And so much more left to feel.